We're starting something new for this website, a legislative report for the Civitas Institute. I'm Matt Willoughby. I've covered the legislature for well over 20 years. We're starting with the Senate budget that has just been released. It does make some cuts, some not as large as the governor's budget. It goes for furloughs to save from laying off some teachers. It also cuts the tax rate for some small businesses, such as LLCs, from 7.7% to 6.9%. The chief budget writer, Senator Linda Guru, a Democrat, says that the budget is balanced.
This budget comes in right under $19 billion, and that gets us back to 2006, 2007 levels. We've cut an additional $8 billion in this budget for over $2 billion in cuts. And even if you take into account the federal recovery money, we've cut about $500 million more this year than in last year's budget.
However, the Republicans don't see that. Senate Minority Leader Senator Phil Berger says that it actually is an increase in spending.
What they're talking about is starting with a number that is what they projected they wanted to spend, and that's a number that was set out either a year ago or 2 years ago. What I think is a more reasonable way to look at it is you should start with the number being how much are we spending this year. If you start with how much the state is spending this year, this budget spends about $1 billion more than the current year's budget. So what I see is a fairly significant spending increase in this budget.
There is time to address these issues because after the Senate passes the budget this week, it goes over to the House where it disappears for nobody knows how long, but the House, of course, is going to have its own version of a budget, and then it goes into conference report, and we'll see where it goes from there. That's a legislative report. I'm Matt Willoughby.